Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name's Christina and today is going to be my 2023 Rolling Tin Project Pan finale. It's not going to be a great one. You guys know how 2023 has gone for me if you've been watching all of these videos. Hopefully you aren't a new viewer at this point because you'd be very confused as to why I'm even sharing the abysmal successes, the mortifying mistakes. I don't know. 2023 was not my year for project panning. 2020 through 2023 has been a weird alternate state universe for me. Too many changes to count, and yeah, the move on top of everything else it didn't work in my favor last year. But I feel like as a person, I need closure on many things, and I feel like you guys probably want closure as well. So we are going to go through my 2023 Rolling Project Pan finale, regardless of how embarrassing it might be. Hopefully you all are having a great new year. It is starting out well for me. I am in a very deep purge and cleanse period of my life, apparently. So as a side note, sidebar area to this video, if you are looking for old videos like this one, in a couple of weeks, they're all going to be unlisted from my main list, but they're all going to be in their own playlist. They just won't be searchable if you like go into the search bar on YouTube, because I don't want people to search and find these as any sort of inspiration for project panning. If you're already subscribed, you can find them, or if you just come to my channel, you can find them, but they're just not going to be as easily and readily available. I'm just cleaning up things. I've been on YouTube since 2015, which is a long time, so I just wanted things to be a little bit cleaner. But anyways, let's go ahead and jump in to the products I have left. So in that last update that I gave you guys in like September, I rolled in this Kosas concealer, and in that video I said, I'm rolling this in because it's gonna up my numbers. I've barely used this. I honestly haven't been using concealer much at all. I'm not wearing concealer today because my skin is, you know, I don't really need it, I guess. I've been wearing BB creams mainly lately, and it covers what I need to cover. I'm very blessed that I don't have dark circles, and even when I'm tired, I don't really feel like concealer helps any because my eyes look sunken rather than like dark. So I don't really think concealer really makes too big of a difference on that. And if I'm that tired, I usually don't put on makeup anyways. So I have my Kosas concealer. I don't think it's moved at all. I've barely used it, even though it's small, and I thought it was going to be one of those things that would up my numbers. Actually, I just pulled the thing out. I'm looking in there. I can see through the tube. Like, I can see you guys through the bottom here. There's a light. There's a light at the end of the tunnel. So maybe I actually did use this more than I thought. I can't scrape. There's still product coming out on this doe foot, though, so it's not done like I thought it would be. It's probably close, which would have been nice to know before I sat down to film this. I guess I should have looked, but it is not, in fact, done. I used it a handful of times, not enough, I think, to really warrant anything exciting to tell you guys. I didn't use it. If I had to guess, between now and September, I've maybe used it 20 times in like the span of 3 months. I just wasn't reaching for it every day. This next one is an exciting one and is actually one that I finished, and it should be no surprise. It's this Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer. In that last update, it only had like, I think, the edge there. You guys will be seeing pictures, so again, you guys will know better. It only had the edge. This was really easy for me to use. I used it every day until it was gone, or until it was crumbling out of its own pan. But this was, I'm pretty positive, full at the beginning of the year. I finished an entire bronzer this year, which is an amazing accomplishment. I wish I had been better about weights and tallies so I could give you guys really good metrics right now, but I mean, I used it all year and I finished it in a year, which I don't know is realistic. I don't really know how that happened to finish an entire bronzer in 1 year, other than I was living in Florida and maybe the constant state of summerhood really affected me deeply. Otherwise, I mean, this is done, so starting out at this video, the last update I gave you, we had finished 7 items, so we're adding this one in. So I finished 8 items as of right now. I wanted to finish 23, so you guys can probably tell how this is going. But yeah, this makes 8 products that I finished. That's still a really good number. I think finishing 8 full products in a year is great, and something we should all strive for anyway, so we don't have stuff sitting around. But yeah, definitely not 23, but I am so happy about this. This feels like a double win to me. If I could count this as 3 items, I probably would, but I won't, to be fair. But a bronzer in a year is a huge accomplishment. Another one I finished, and I think I threw it out during the move, and I didn't really finish it. It broke, and I used what I could. It was that CoverGirl True Love blush. I have a picture of it. This one I'm pretty sure it broke during the road trip. It's been so long now, I don't quite remember, but I remember it breaking at some point because I remember it getting on hotel floor and I was like, oh no, it's gonna stain and I don't have a vacuum. But I think I used what I could after that and then that's just throughout the rest. So I'm counting it as a win because it is out of my collection, but I didn't technically finish it, if that makes sense. But I mean, I'm gonna say that that is product number 9 that we ended up finishing this year. I only used it a few more times before it broke, but I think it was already broken. I think if I remember correctly, the packaging was broken. But I used it a good bit. It's really hard for me to get through blushes, or anyone to get through blushes. Blushes last forever. No one needs as many blushes as we probably all have. One that I did not finish, and I don't know where it is right now. I think it's up in my makeup storage, which is in a different part of the house. My Uncle Eero lip mask that I've been working on all year, and I haven't been wanting to wear it because I liked it too much. Well, it's not done yet. It's still not done, but it's just because I don't want to get rid of it. That's as simple as that. Does anyone have products like that that you like so much that you don't want them to finish, so you just stop using them as if that makes it better? It doesn't make it better. Just use your products, okay? I really need to go and find that lip mask and finish it. It was so close to being done too, but I just liked it so much that I didn't want to finish it. Another one that I finished, and I know I threw it out, but I know I 100% finished it, was the Rare Beauty powder. I can't remember if I updated in the last video or not if I finished that, so I'm just gonna throw it out that I did end up finishing that powder. And then I ended up rolling in this Perfect Diary powder as a backup for whenever I finished the Rare Beauty, and I also finished this one. So 2 powders, I think that brings me to what, 11 products now that I finished last year. This still has a teeny bit, but I cannot get it out unless I decide I want to cut out this mesh. That's like the only way. I have banged this against the lid so many times trying to get that last little tiny bit of powder out, but it's not coming out on its own. So 2 powders though. Or I don't know, I think I've gone through 3 or 4 powders in 2023, I think is how many I finished overall. And that's really good. I think that will diminish less. Now that I live in a colder climate, I'm not powdering like nearly as much. There's some days I don't put powder on at all. So it will definitely diminish in a different climate until summertime probably for me. Really good to get through that many. I only have 1 powder in my collection right now, and it's the one I am currently like using if I need it. It's honestly probably the only powder I will need for a long time, and I'm not planning on stocking anymore. I think my makeup collection will definitely start getting smaller and more manageable over the next year. I'm pretty sure I rolled this next item in September as well, and I was overly ambitious. I'm pretty sure I said my goal for this was to finish half of it. It was brand new when I rolled it in, like basically brand new. So it's this Merit bronzing stick. I'm sorry this packaging is dirty. I did use this morning, so I don't know if you guys can see, full focus. You see that little gap? That's how much progress I made. That's it. And I actually do use this a good bit. Once that Physicians Formula bronzer ran out, I was using this every day. I used it today. I put it on my forehead, I put it on my cheekbones, and I buff it out. You don't need a lot of this. That's the mistake I made. You don't need a lot of it at all, and even though it's almost a daily wear product for me, any day that I wear makeup I probably throw a little bit of this on at this point. It barely moves, so this might be something you guys see next year. I don't know if I'm doing the Partners in Cream. I don't know if the Partners in Cream is coming back again, but there's that much product left in there. That's probably doable for a whole year, but definitely not doable in 3 months to do half of that. So I was very ambitious on that one, but this one is definitely going to be one that I do want to continue working on, so you guys will be seeing this guy. Another one that has been in for a long time and I completely stopped using it was this guy. This is the Smashbox Photo Finish Illuminate Glow Primer. To be honest, I haven't been using primers at all again. It's a step that I find a little unnecessary right now because I put a moisturizer on and then I feel like my skin is okay. So because of that, I just haven't been reaching for this at all. I think we got it about halfway down, about right there, and that's it. Not much else to say on that. I feel like if I say too much, it all sounds like excuses, so we're just gonna keep moving on. Another 2 products that I rolled in, and I think the last 2 that I'll be able to talk about today, because I think all the other ones are gone, are these 2. I rolled them in together as a tandem product, but they do count as 2 separate things. So I have the Purito Cica Clearing BB Cream. This one is in 15 Rose Ivory, which is a little bit too dark and too pink toned for me. And then there's the Misha Perfect Cover BB Cream in number 13, which is a little too light for me and very yellow. So these two together is usually how I wear it anyways. The Misha one is almost gone. I can tell this one's getting pretty low. This one still feels like it has a good bit of product in it, especially when I compare it to the other Purito. This is the number 13, which is the correct shade for me. It's what I'm wearing today. These are definitely, the tubes are showing completely different wear. This one is definitely lower than this guy. Probably because this one is so pink toned, I don't have to use much of it mixed with this to get it to the right tone. It's very pink and very dark for my skin. So I don't use quite as much, I guess, as I do when I use just the one that works. So it didn't move as fast as I thought it would. Very close. These, again, will probably be two you guys will see rolled over into next year because I tend to reach for the BB creams more often nowadays. And those are the most likely at the moment to be finished and used pretty easily in my collection. So that's where these are at. These will make another appearance because they're just good old products. And that, guys, unfortunately is the finale of the 2023 Project Pan. This is always my main Project Pan, the Rolling 10. And for the, a few years it has been really successful. But yeah, 2023 was just not the year for me in panning, not the year for me in YouTube. It just wasn't the year for me. So I'm glad to be in 2024 now. Ultimately, my goal was to finish 23 products. I finished 11 over the course of the year, which isn't the worst. I could have said I finished 0. So I'm not mad that I made progress. I did make progress. I tried to reach a goal. It just didn't work, and that is totally a-okay with me. It happens, and I'm just really excited to have a fresh start in the new year. As cliche as that sounds, but new projects are coming. Again, I will be probably dialing back on the projects. I think I'm only going to be doing 2 project pans and then 1 sort of eyeshadow one, and then that's it. And the eyeshadow one will not be a Pan That palette this year. I know a lot of you might be disappointed because I know y'all like Pan That palettes, but again, last year just wasn't for me. I've never been successful with a Pan That palette, so I think I need to reassess how I do that. And I think a those eyeshadows, pan in every eyeshadow kind of style video might work better for me. Finale for Pan That palette will be coming up. That's probably a spoiler for that one, but I am going to film that immediately after this one, so you guys will be seeing that soon. And again, thank you all for the ones who have stuck around with me this year. I have lost a tremendous amount of subscribers this year, and I don't blame anyone for that. So for those that have supported me through this really rough patch in my YouTube career, thank you so much. And on to new and better things for 2024. Thank you all so much, and I will see all of you in another video. Bye!